We're back for another edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this Tuesday, 20th day of November, 2018. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. Happy Tuesday. A lot of people taking this week off. If you're taking the week off and you're up early because you're just used to getting up at this hour, even though you're not going to work or not going to school or you're just not doing anything, hey, thanks for joining us anyway. We appreciate it. Dan Kuntz, your host. Another busy show for you today. Got that all-important weather forecast as we get so closer to Thanksgiving. By the way, yesterday at this time, we were predicting a little bit of snow maybe on Thanksgiving night into Friday. They're backing off that a little bit. We're going to get a little precipitation. Things are going to get a little more active than what we've had over the last few days or so. But as far as snow in the valley proper, doesn't look like it. Good news for you skiers from Mission Ridge, though. Get ready to strap on those skinny pieces of fiberglass and throw yourself down the side of a mountain. Mission Ridge opens their 2018-2019 season on Friday. Just chairlift one, get you from the base up to midway. That's it. But hey, it's better than nothing. We'll talk about that when we get to news. We also have sports to get to here. In a couple of minutes, we'll preview our winter sports schedule. It's going to be a busy one. That's with sports. We have the obscure holiday today in history, birthdays. Everybody's entitled to Mike McNally's opinion, your past report. Also, the latest travel alert from the Washington State Department of Transportation. We'll get to that as well. And everything else that you're so used to. Thanks for starting your day with us here on the NCW Life channel. Let's take you around North Central Washington with our Valley View cameras. And we have a really cool shot this morning from our cross camera that has pulled back and tilted up a little bit, and you can see that low-lying piece of cloud hanging over the East Wenatchee Bench. It's not going to last long. In fact, today is going to be, well, another nice day today. Quite a bit of sunshine. Not looking too bad at all. High of about 46 degrees, but this will be the end of this kind of weather for a while. We got a weak weather system coming in later on today, and then a stronger one Thursday night into Friday. It's going to bring snow to the upper elevations, but it looks like whatever precipitation we get down here in the valley floor is going to be in the form of rain. And if we get any snow at all here in the valley proper, it ain't going to last very long with high temperatures in the afternoon still in the 40s. Good morning. We're still, about 8.5 minutes before sunrise officially happens here in the Wenatchee Valley. From this point forward, we find out together because Kat gets to decide what cameras to look at. And she says, let's see what's happening on the Columbia River. This is the Orondo Rock camera, one of our lower cameras. Most of these Sky-Fi cameras that we deal with are by nature, they have to be way up in the air for the Sky-Fi system to work, but they have some cameras at lower elevations, and this is one of them. Turtle Rock dominating your view there, and you can just make out Rocky Reach Dam there to your right in the Wenatchee Valley, farther down your screen. Good morning to Turtle Rock. We are the number 4 rated live local morning show in the Turtle Rock area. Camper number 3 is a beautiful shot of, what the heck is that? Oh, that's Nantipoc Ridge. That's pulled way back. That is so weird. That looks like it's a lake. It's not a lake. There's a lake down there. Lake Wenatchee is down there. Fish Lake is down there, but that is, I don't believe we've ever had the Nantipoc Ridge at that angle pulled that far back. That is absolutely cool. You would think that you're in an airplane. That's just a neat view. Nantipoc Ridge, I think you can barely make out Mount Adams way off to the left there. I'm pretty sure that might be what we're looking at there. That's a cool view. Nicely done, Kat. Mix things up a little bit. Camera 4. What do we got? That is, don't tell me now, that has got to be our Two Rivers camera pointing up the White River Valley. Am I correct? Yoo-hoo! I win the prize. I get a year's supply of turtle wax. That is, that's at Lake Wenatchee, the very top of Lake Wenatchee, the head of the lake. So if we turn that camera 180 degrees, Lake Wenatchee would come into view, but we have it pointed up the White River Valley, up towards, and that would be Mount Adams, which is just out of your view there. The low-lying clouds and fog at that Two Rivers camera. That's really, really cool. What a great view that is, and a beautiful area, I might add. 4 minutes after the hour, let's do your weather forecast from the National Weather Service. 2 things that have been hanging around for a couple of days, continues to hang around. Number 1, we still have that stage 1 burn ban. That means all outdoor burning is prohibited. Doesn't matter what it is, residential, agricultural, forest burning. If you have uncertified wood stoves, fireplaces, inserts, you can't burn anything unless it's your home's only adequate source of heat. Of course, if you have a clean burning certified wood stove or pellet stove, you're fine. You're good to go there. And also, we have an air stagnation advisory. It's still in effect until 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, air stagnation advisory. Because, well, there's high pressure, and that's going to trap those pollutants pretty close to the ground. So probably should issue an air stagnation advisory for this studio, too. I had cabbage for dinner last night. Anyway, there's your forecast. Another day of sunshine today, high of about 46 degrees. Clouds tonight, 31 for the overnight low. We have a couple of slides from the National Weather Service to show you. Here is your Wednesday evening to Thursday morning snow. And as you can see, the Wenatchee Valley proper has that little sliver there where we're not really expecting anything at all. Wednesday night, little or no snow accumulation is expected at all. Just a super chance of light snow. I mean, a super light chance of light snow. Doesn't look like it's going to pan out as it spills over into Thanksgiving Day. Slight chance of some light snow mixed with rain in the morning. And then if we get anything at all after 10 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day, it will come down in the form of rain. Any snow will be gone because we're looking at high of about 42 on Thanksgiving Day. And again, just a slight chance of light snow Thursday night and a Friday. So they've backed off on that just a little bit. Yesterday they were thinking, you know, maybe we can have some snow come down and possibly stick in the ground. So essentially, there's a weak weather system that moves through later on today, spills into Wednesday, and then a stronger weather system arrives Thanksgiving evening with showery weather for the Wenatchee Valley and some snow in the mountain passes. In fact, let's take you up to the mountain passes right now, let you know what's going on I-90 Stevens and Snoqualmie. As you look at the three passes, by the way, they're all fine. They're all bare and dry with frost and ice in places. I'm going to read you the forecast for the mountain passes for Wednesday. Going to snow. Going to snow tomorrow. On Stevens, a couple of inches. On I-90, probably not at all. But if you're taking Stevens Pass, you can look at a couple of inches possible on Wednesday, especially Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday night, 1 to 2 inches possible on Stevens Pass. I know that's a big travel day. Thanksgiving Day, 2 to 4 inches. So the most amount of snow they're going to get, there's a snow plow. Not working real hard. It looks like there's nothing to plow, really. Thanksgiving Day, again, for the mountain passes, 2 to 4 inches possible on Stevens, less than an inch they're expecting now on I-90, and then on Friday, another couple of inches of snow possible. For traveling conditions, it looks like it's going to be fine. Stevens, you might want to avoid. I-90, it's about 1,000 feet lower in elevation. But this is what you're looking at eastbound on Wednesday. Take a look at that. This is the typical traffic volume, North Bend to Cleon. The typical traffic volume is that black bar that you see. So you can expect quite a bit of congestion beginning tomorrow morning at about 10:30 is when it's going to pick up. This is North Bend to Cleon. So if you have folks in the Puget Sound area planning on taking I-90 over here to eastern Washington, that's the times that you want to avoid if you just don't want to sit there in traffic all day. Again, doesn't look like I-90 Snoqualmie Pass is really going to get any snow. It'll probably be just rain. So that's heading over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house, heading back over to the Puget Sound area. That's the times that you want to avoid. Again, you can expect quite a bit of congestion and stop and go traffic from about 11 in the morning on Sunday to about 5 o'clock in the evening on Sunday. Those red bars are the times you really want to be avoiding the passes if you want to just get there safely and you don't want to sit in traffic all day. So there you go. Weather forecast, pass report, your travel alerts from the Washington State Department of Transportation. We're flying down the road on this Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. 60 seconds away from the news, so grab your cup of coffee and your English muffin and come right back and join us. I'll fill your head full of the information that you need to start your Tuesday. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live this morning from Studio 3 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
I came here to CCH because one of my friends referred me. When I met Dr. Jocelyn, she was just amazing. She connected with my son and it meant so much to me. He opens up so quickly because she just sits there and plays with him. It really is like going to see a friend. It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted and respected. It just feels like home.
Hi, I'm Eric Grandstrom with the NCW Live channel.
And I'm Brent Rhodes with Country 104.7 KKRV.
The Les Schwab Community Toy Drive is back.
Join us for a very special kickoff event Friday at Hooked on Toys.
We'll be there collecting new unwrapped toys from 9 to 4.
The Country 104.7 is broadcasting live from 10 to 1.
And NCW Live channel broadcasts live 10 to 10:30.
Help us make sure no child goes without a toy this holiday season.
Join us for the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive kickoff Friday at Hooked on Toys.
With Country 104.7 KKRV.
And the NCW Live channel, your local TV station.
And we're back on this Tuesday. It's mostly clear skies, 27 degrees outside of our studios. One more day of quite a bit of sunshine before the clouds come in, and they're going to hang around right through Thanksgiving weekend. Here's what's making headlines on this Tuesday. A man who served prison time for trying to set his grandmother on fire back in 2003 has again been arrested at her house near Plain, this time on gun charges. According to a court filing, Ronald Ray Dean, 43 years old, jailed Friday on 6 counts of unlawful weapons possession. Sheriff's deputies went to the home after a report that he had again threatened his grandmother and fired a shot into the floor in an attempt to get money from her. He was to appear in court, by the way, late yesterday afternoon. In the 2003 incident, he broke his grandmother's arm, he doused her with gasoline, and attempted to set her on fire. Moses Lake police say a wanted felon was arrested Sunday morning after a fight with police. 25-year-old Alfredo Ochoa Castaneda arrested while walking on North Grape Drive in Moses Lake when police recognized him from an outstanding warrant and attempted to make contact with him. Castaneda allegedly resisted arrest and a handgun magazine fell from his pocket during the scuffle with police. He also reportedly shoved the police officer before being subdued. Police later found a pistol in Castaneda's pocket that was reported stolen back in 2016. Castaneda booked in Grant County Jail for an outstanding warrant, as well as assault in the third degree, felon in possession of a firearm, and possession of a stolen firearm. A man and a woman from Vancouver injured when their vehicle left Highway 2 and crashed into a sign and a utility box. This happened near Smallwoods Harvest fruit stand near Peshastin early yesterday afternoon. Troopers say a 27-year-old she's from Oregon. She was the driver of the Subaru. Both she and her passenger, a 31-year-old man from Vancouver, were taken to Central Washington Hospital in Wenatchee. Bryant said the crash was caused when the driver fell asleep at the wheel. The highway was blocked for a short period of time. Damage to a roadside memorial marking the spot where a Moses Lake teenager was killed in a traffic crash is being investigated by Grant County Sheriff's deputies. Officials say a witness reported seeing a bucket loader uproot the steel memorial cross from its display near roads 5 and L northeast. The driver was eventually contacted by police but not arrested. The memorial, which has been vandalized in the past, is located at the spot where 18-year-old Clayton Clark crashed his vehicle into an irrigation canal back in 2016. The annual Night in a Box fundraiser wrapped up over the weekend, and according to organizers, another big success. The event raised $12,300. It's going to be used to feed and provide shelter for the homeless in our community. Participants gathered around fires, shared stories and experiences, and braved the cold Wenatchee night by sleeping in tents and cardboard boxes, all in the name of charity. The event was held in the parking lot at 410 South Columbia Street in Wenatchee. Donations, by the way, can still be made to nightinabox.com. Nightinabox.com. The event, of course, is sponsored by the Lighthouse Christian Ministries. Mission Ridge Ski and Snowboard Resort has announced they will open Chair 1 this Friday, November 23rd through Sunday, November 25th. So get ready to go out and do some skiing. They say that despite a fall of light natural snowfall, the resort's extensive snowmaking capabilities, well, they got an opening by Thanksgiving weekend. It's something they always want to do, and for the 6th time in 7 years, they're doing just that.
Guess what, everybody? Friday, we'll be opening 9 to 4. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Get your ready on, get your stoke on. We're here to ski. Thanks for John Rack and all the crew. We're in business.
John, do you want to talk to us just a little bit about what it's been like for your guys getting this all together? I mean, we're on like 100% snowmaking.
It's 100% snowmaking. It's been a struggle. Basically just nighttime temps. Not a lot happening during the days. Lower humidity helped out, but it's pretty warm. And it was just a lot of work. Lots of blood and sweat and a little tears on my part.
Absolutely. All right, everybody, that's right. You heard it here first. We are going to kick off the 2018-19 ski season on Friday, November 23rd. We're going to be open Friday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're going to have limited operations. We're going to have Chair 1 only in operation. But we'll have the Chair 5 Pub, Clam Cafe. They'll be open from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Rental and retail shop will be open as well. Also the Child Care Center. Ticket and pass office get you squared away. You can go to the retail shop, pick up a sweet hat. We got a lot of new merchandise in there, a lot of Mission Ridge swag, so make sure you stop by when you're here this weekend. We won't have Pika Peak, it doesn't look like, for this weekend, so no lessons as of right now. We'll also try to do a hike park at Midway if conditions allow. So things are coming together. Forecast is looking better and better all the time. Little chance of snow Wednesday, then it really kicks in on Thursday. So we're hoping for some awesome conditions to go into the weekend. Huge thank you to the Mission Ridge snowmaking crew. They really did everything they could to make this a possibility. So when you see a snowmaker, hug a snowmaker and say big thanks. We're looking forward to seeing you out on the mountain this weekend. Here we go.
That's good news. As we mentioned during the past report, 4,000 feet and above, going to get some snow off and on really throughout the course of the weekend. So Friday, mostly cloudy skies for Mission Ridge, a slight chance of snow, calm winds, skiers like that. High of 34 degrees, and all the way through, beginning actually Wednesday night, all the way through Sunday, they're going to get some light natural snow at Mission Ridge. I like to hear that. By the way, special opening weekend lift tickets are available online at missionridge.com for only $30. That's through Thanksgiving Day, and that's only, of course, online. Mission Ridge will also be honoring firefighters and emergency responders. Free ski passes through the third weekend in December. Free skiing is a good price. And it's 16 minutes after the hour. One more friendly reminder, it is back for another big year. I love it when I can say the second annual Les Schwab Community Toy Drive. Yep, it went so well last year. We're doing it again. Don't forget our live broadcast Friday morning at Hooked on Toys with our good friends at Country 104.7 KKRV. Eric Granstrom will be representing this fine television station. We'll be live, commercial-free, Hooked on Toys from 10 to 10:30 on Friday. 10 to 10:30 on Friday. Now, anytime during the course of the holiday season, you can drop off your toy donations. Last year, we helped 700 kids. We want to do 1,000 this year. We want to reach 1,000 kids, get them all presents so everybody gets a present. What we're asking you to do is drop a new unwrapped, it has to be unwrapped toy, at any of our sponsor locations. There's a ton of them. I'll just give you a couple. Obviously, both Les Schwab locations. They're our title sponsor. Also, our friends at KKRV, Cashmere Valley Bank locations in Wenatchee and East Wenatchee. Hooked on Toys, of course, Sangster Motors, Country 104.7 KKRV, both works in Wenatchee and East Wenatchee, Quilboa Valley Tractor and Rentals, Highlander Golf Course, Columbia Valley Community Health, Elements Salon and Spa, the Walkabout Grill. And if you go to our Les Schwab Community Toy Drive Facebook page, he'll take care of you there. All right, new unwrapped gifts. Let's take care of those who need taken care of for the holiday season. This is a giving community of that, there's no doubt. It's 18 minutes after the hour. The sun's starting to creep up a little bit more. We'll have sunshine for the most part today, highs in the mid-40s. Going to take a break when we come back. Sports, the obscure holiday. Today in history, birthdays, everybody is entitled to Mike Minotti's opinion. I didn't even tell you who my guest is. My guest is Cari Horning, who is the Career-Connected Learning Specialist with the North Central Educational Services District. That's a conversation you don't want to miss. All coming up between now and 8 o'clock. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hello, Wenatchee Valley. Christian Shaman here with Bay Equity Home Loans.
Make your dream of building your own home a reality today. Bay Equity Home Loans has teamed up with Real Homes to make building your new home a smooth process. Bay Equity Home Loans of Wenatchee offers new construction loans, FHA 3.5% down, and VA 100% construction loans.
Stop on by or give us a call today.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCW Life channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? No matter how you prefer to view your news, NCW Life has you covered. Watch the evening news weeknights on TV, stream it, read it at ncwlife.com, or catch the latest news by following us on Facebook. Stay informed with local news, sports, weather, and shows featuring local people and events. NCW Life, a reflection and a spotlight of the communities we call home.
Back out of here from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee, 19 minutes after the hour on this Tuesday. Let's do sports. Of course, the big sports news yesterday. The Mariners have traded away their best pitcher. James Paxton is now a New York Yankee. For Big Maple, Seattle gets a trio of prospects. Left-handed pitchers Justice Sheffield, right-handed pitcher Eric Swanson, and outfielder Dom Thompson-Williams. General Manager Jerry DePoto says the Mariners are targeting a push towards the 2020 and 2021 seasons as they accumulate promising young players with longer windows of opportunities. I, for one, am happy to see Mr. Paxton in the pinstripes. Now that Thanksgiving week is here, we're really starting to focus down on our winter sports season here in North Central Washington, as in our plans to cover it right here on the NCESD Life Channel. Take a look-see. This is what we got planned. It begins for us tomorrow. We're going to be at Eastmont Lanes. Wenatchee and Eastmont girls bowling teams will meet for the first time of 2 times, of course, this season. The match starts at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, so obviously we're going to have that on a tape delay basis here on the NCESD Life Channel. Next Friday, November 30th, we'll be at Eastmont. Eastmont boys hosting Kashmir, obviously non-league game there. Yeah, girls and boys wrestling. Next on the schedule, Davis at Wenatchee on Tuesday, December 4th. Friday, the 7th of December, we got Ferris and Wenatchee girls basketball at 5:45. And that'll be followed the next day by the Meade girls and boys at Wenatchee High beginning at 5:45. We have 24 different sports broadcasts scheduled for the regular season all the way through the middle of February and playoffs. And, of course, Wenatchee Wild home hockey days, all of them. Your home for local sports on television is us. The NCESD Life Channel, by the way, for a complete rundown, the entire schedule is available. Go to our website at ncwlife.com. Back to the weekend. We're going to back to the weekend real quick because there's a couple of things we wanted to pass along that we didn't get a chance to yesterday. Local youth and how they did over the weekend. The Wenatchee Valley Rams Black. Congratulations. They won the Mighty Might League Championship, a 39-18 win over the Spokane Knights. From what we understand, a punt return touchdown opened up a close game at the second half. Congratulations to the Rams Black. The Rams Green were playing for the Junior Pee Wee regional title against Pacifico out of California. The Rams suffered through injuries in a very cold game. They fell 18-0 to place second in the region. By the way, a note from the Central Cascade Pop Warner League. They wanted to thank their parents and their sponsors for their sportsmanship and support, and the kids for working so hard, and the cheers team and the cheer squads and everybody. It was a good year for the local kids. Speaking of a good year, the Wenatchee FC under-16 boys took second place over the weekend at the State Cup Gold bracket. Wenatchee FC won 4 games on their way to the finals. Then they fell to Issaquah 1-0. Congratulations to the boys. This is the second consecutive year that they fell just 1 goal shy of the title after winning the Silver Division title a year ago. And let's be honest, hey, it's Thanksgiving week. Nobody's working real hard. I can certainly attest for that. So if you're just sitting around at your desk today and looking for something to do, check out NFL Films A Football Life. It's pretty fascinating. We're going to spotlight a little section on one of my favorite, the former Seahawks coach, Mike Holmgren.
Somebody once described Mike Holmgren as the quarterback whisperer.
Yeah, is he a whisperer? I don't think he whispers very much.
Hey, don't do that to me! Don't give me that hand! Don't do that to me!
For me personally, Mike Holmgren made all the difference. Who he was as a coach, as a teacher.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, okay?
Can't start it that way.
No, you can't, okay?
Yeah.
All right, because everyone's riding on your shoulders now.
I know without a hint of doubt that I would not be here if it were not for him.
Are you all right? Yeah. No more rocket balls, please.
I would love Mike Holmgren. I would do anything for Mike Holmgren. I owe him really more than, you know, a little show like this can express, really, to be honest with you.
You gonna be a football player when you grow up?
Today is the best day of your life. Believe it.
Give me 18 years of daylight, that's all right.
Greatest leader I've ever known.
What a ride it's been!
When you're a coach, you're a teacher. The good coaches are teachers.
Good stuff. By the way, the entire video, and it's a fascinating documentary, is available on the Seahawks website. Just go to the video section. And one thing I want to mention about Mike Holmgren, you know, of course, he took over as the Seahawks coach and general manager. He's long been retired now from coaching, but he decided to live in the Pacific Northwest. Didn't have to do that, but once he moved to the Seattle area in the Pacific Northwest, he fell in love with it, and he's been here ever since. Those are just some of the games that people are playing at 24 minutes after the hour. The obscure holiday of the day today, it's National Absurdity Day. National Absurdity Day. The term absurd comes from the Latin word absurdium, which means out of tune or irrational. So embrace the absurd and the ridiculous on today, National Absurdity Day. Life is full of absurdities. Who's kidding who? There's lots of illogical and unreasonable and nonsensical things that just seem to happen to people. You just can't seem to figure it out. I embrace absurdity. I do it every morning from 7 to 8 right here on this very television station. National Absurdity Day, always celebrated on November 20th, and I don't know why. It just, you gotta pick a day, I suppose. Let's do Today in History. I'm glad I did not live through the Cuban Missile Crisis. I just lived it. But those people who remember, they said it was 7 or 8 really, really tense days. as close as we came to nuclear war, and it finally came to an end on this date, November 20th, 1962. 56 years ago today, the Cuban Missile Crisis came to an end. The Soviet Union agreed to move their missiles out of Cuba, and in exchange, U.S. President John F. Kennedy agreed to move our missiles out of Yugoslavia, and he also ended the quarantine of Cuba, and everybody kind of went, whew, and it came to an end. The Cuban Missile Crisis came to an end, and everybody could breathe a little easier on this date back in 1962. The occupation of Alcatraz started on this date 49 years ago today. It was very simple. It was an old treaty dated back to 1868 that basically said if the federal government just gives up using their land, it goes back to the Native Americans who once occupied the land before the federal government moved in and took it. And since Alcatraz had been closed since 1963, a bunch of Native Americans said, okay, well, it's ours now, right, because of the Treaty of Laramie, so they moved into Alcatraz. Didn't work. They eventually got tossed out a couple of years later, but it was worth a shot. Anyway, the occupation of Alcatraz began on this date and lasted for about a year and a half before the federal government said, get out of here. I think they got tired of living on Alcatraz. I don't blame them. Happy birthday to Microsoft Windows 1.0. There it is. Microsoft Windows made its debut 33 years ago, November 20th, 1985. It's still the software I use at home. I use it all the time on my 286 computer. It works great. Microsoft 1.0 is released to the public. The critics hated it. The public bought it up like crazy. There you go. And it was the first real software that was all mouse-based, even though using the mouse wasn't real common practice. But you had to use the mouse or it pretty much didn't work. And finally, November 20th, 2017, 1 year ago today, they collapsed the Georgia Dome. They imploded it. The Georgia Dome was only 25 years old. They decided it was already out of date. Why, I don't know. So they built the new Mercedes-Benz Dome, and they just imploded the Georgia Dome. Kind of. As you can see, two walls stayed up. I kid you not. There were a lot of people who said, why are you blowing up a stadium that's only 25 years old? Well, the stadium didn't want to go. It didn't work. Two big sections of it just decided to not fall down when they blew it up. By the way, the Georgia Dome was and remains the only stadium in the world that would hosted the Olympics, a Super Bowl, and a Final Four. And finally, at 27 minutes after the hour, we have birthdays. Two significant political figures, one no longer with us. Robert Francis Kennedy was born on this date in 1925. Of course, lawyer, politician, the 64th Attorney General of the United States, was running for the presidency in 1968 when he was shot and killed in Los Angeles at the age of 42. Robert Francis Kennedy, born in the state of 1925. Is Joe Biden running for president? You hear rumors about it. He might be. Joe Biden is 76 years old today. He was the 47th Vice President of the United States, and you just hear scuttlebutt that Joe Biden may be taking on President Trump in a couple of years. I guess we'll find out. Joe Biden is 76 years old today. And Joe Walsh, yeah, Rocky Mountain Way, life's been good. Joe Walsh, of course, a member of the Eagles, a great solo career with the James Gang. Joe Walsh is 71 years old today, and somebody should probably tell him. 28 minutes after the hour. If you know somebody who has a birthday, special day, anniversary, go to our Facebook page, NCW Life's Facebook page, and get your message to us. We'll do our best to get your birthdays on the air. By the way, our website's a great way for you to get a hold of us, too. If you have a news tip or something like that, go to ncwlife.com. Have fun fishing around our website. We're pretty proud of it. Going to take a break. When we come back, everybody is entitled to Mike McNalty's opinion. Then once a month, I always visit with somebody from the North Central Educational Services District, and this month is no different. Cari Horning came by yesterday to talk about career-connected learning. It's an important topic. That's coming up between now and 8 o'clock. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, I'm Eric Grandstrom with the NCW Life channel.
And I'm Brent Rhodes with Country 104.7 KKRV.
The Les Schwab Community Toy Drive is back.
Join us for a very special kickoff event Friday at Hooked on Toys.
We'll be there collecting new unwrapped toys from 9 to 4.
The Country 104.7 is broadcasting live from 10 to 1.
And NCW Life channel broadcasts live 10 to 10:30.
Help us make sure no child goes without a toy this holiday season.
Join us for the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive kickoff Friday at Hooked on Toys.
With Country 104.7 KKRV.
And the NCW Life channel, your local TV station.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by Local Tel. Thanksgiving Day is the Foul Play 5K in downtown Leavenworth. Gather at the gazebo at 8:30 a.m. and the run starts at 9. Also happening in Leavenworth is Christkindl Market, a Bavarian-style Christmas market that includes entertainment, crafts, a lantern parade, Santa Claus, and more. It's happening this Friday through Sunday. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color Effects in Cashmere. Color Effects offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
Hey folks, Cari from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks. So bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
Thanks to the help I received at Goodwill,
I have a job. I'm working now. Thanks to Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill. Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to get you back to work. When you donate to or shop at Goodwill, you're really helping people find work.
Thank you. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
NCW Life Channel is proud to present the Spotlight on Business. We're going behind the scenes to bring you the story of local businesses throughout North Central Washington. How did they get started? And why are they so successful? We'll answer these and other questions each week with Spotlight on Business, Sundays through Fridays on the NCW Life Channel.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, speaking of the red light cameras, when they were installed, the police department claimed the motive was to promote traffic safety, not to increase revenue. I said then and I say now, hogwash. Sure, these intersections with the cameras can be dangerous, and the cops do want people to stop for red lights. I mean, duh. But what's wrong with making a little money when people do run the lights? I mean, really? I mean, what's wrong with the income potential here? When we accept our driver's license, we are agreeing to the traffic code. Therefore, we agree to pay a fine if we're caught committing a traffic infraction. So if a camera catches you, either pay up or shut up or give up your license. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by Local Tel. Pybus Public Market is turning on their holiday Christmas tree lights this Friday at 5:45 p.m. sharp. Watch the concourse be instantly turned into a festive holiday spectacle. The Wenatchee Public Library will be hosting a spelling bee for adults this Saturday from 7 to 9:30 p.m. Register online for this free event. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Some people put everything into their work. They put their name on the door and their heart into the community. Some people make it their life's work to carry on traditions that cross over the decades. When you shop these local businesses, you support all the things that make our community great, and the money you spend stays here in the Valley. We give thanks to the sponsors who support this message: Chris Kringle in Leavenworth, Praise Fruit Barn on Highway 2, and Liberty Orchards in Cashmere.
You don't want to see this happen. It's the oil light on your car. Oil is the lube of life for your car's engine. At Alignment Pros and Express Lube, they pour the best oil your car deserves. Expect fast, friendly, superior service in a clean environment. They'll change your oil and perform a 21-point inspection while you enjoy the comfort of their amazing waiting room. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
And welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. Once a month, we set aside some time to visit with somebody, whoever they decide to send, from the North Central Educational Services District. We've had Dr. Sue Kane on a couple of times. We've had the director of the NCESD, and our monthly visit continues with the, I want to get your title correct now, Cari, the Career Connected Learning Specialist.
Yes, correct.
That's a big thing to put on a business card.
It's big.
Cari Horning is my guest, and you're actually no stranger to the studio. You've been in the studio before.
Yes.
You were on Lisa's show?
Yep, Life with Lisa.
Okay, how did that go?
Very well. Very
Yeah.
fun day,
Go.
for sure.
First question, a little something about Cari. Tell folks about yourself, because you've never been on the show before. Introduce
I
yourself.
am a local Quincy gal as of 1985, and spent my first part of my career working in the athletic industry, and so I traveled the territory for Nike and Reebok, and then as situations happen, I spent some time at home raising the kids. Our oldest daughter had some medical issues, so was lucky enough to be able to stay home and take care of her. And somehow things aligned so that the work that I was doing with Kendall through the school district volunteering and advocating for her in that way, and at Children's Hospital, those skills aligned for this position. So they took a chance on me in August, and here I am.
Did this position exist before you?
No, not this specific position.
Okay.
The work was being done, but not
Okay.
this specific.
They decided
position.
to carve out a job just
Yes.
for you. And
Well, not just for me. The job was carved out, and somehow, I
Okay.
was the winner of that competition.
And I mentioned Dr. Sue Kane, who's your boss,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Who's a lovely lady.
Lovely lady.
Big fan of Dr. Kane.
I'm a huge fan, and I'll say it again, the breadth of her knowledge on this topic is inspiring.
What exactly does the Career Connected Learning Specialist do?
Well, I think easily put, I'm a matchmaker. Everybody is on board, both businesses and education, school districts, to make these connections for students to get out into the industry. And it seems very simple, but it just hasn't quite been happening. So I'm connecting businesses with school districts and school districts with businesses to create opportunities for students. A lot of the early success right now has been field trips, different tours of industry right now in the Moses Lake area, especially. I happen to cover Grant and Adams County, even though this work is being done here in Wenatchee as well. But yeah, lots of tours so far. We've hit Lamb Weston, Live Nation, SGL, Carbon in Moses Lake, Chemicon, and it's working both ways. We're getting educators out into the industry, and we're getting students out into industry as well.
Maybe planting that seed for those kids.
Absolutely.
Is it me, or are kids nowadays, maybe it's just our faster paced society and the fact that people have a smaller attention span, are kids deciding earlier in life what they might want to do for a living, what they want to do as a career, or is it the other way around? Are they kind of kicking the can down the road until they have to put food on the table?
That's a good question. I'm not quite sure. I think a lot of the students have an idea based on kind of what they've been exposed to, whether it's a family member or a parent. But in terms of getting out there and really knowing what's available to them, I don't think they're able to make that decision because maybe they haven't been exposed to it yet. So that's where this program comes in, and we're super excited to make those connections for
But
them.
the one thing that all the kids know now, because we've been talking about this for years now, is they know they need a good STEM education.
Absolutely.
Regardless of what they decide to do, whether they want to be a firefighter or a physician or anything in between, you got to have a good core STEM education.
Absolutely. And to be honest with you, I'm not even even fully sure that each of the students know that that's what they need, but they're getting it. They're being exposed to it, and that is very good.
And you got to convince kids, okay, science, technology, engineering, and math. And kids go, well, what I want to do has nothing to do with science, technology, engineering, and math. That's not the point, is it?
No, not the point. And they actually don't know that it does actually matter, and it is actually a part of the job. So, whether they're measuring for construction, you have to know how to read a ruler, or for chemistry, whatever it is. They're getting it, they're being exposed to it, then they may not even know it yet.
I've spent most of my adult professional life as a broadcaster. When I started broadcasting in the mid-1980s, everything was analog, and now everything is digital, everything is computerized, and you got to roll with it. You got to roll with it, or you're done. You're going to fall by the wayside, and you can't catch up.
Well, and some of the conversations that's happening right now is actually that some of the jobs that exist today will not exist by the time some of our 4th, 5th, and 6th graders graduate from high school. Yeah. So it is very important for them to stay up to date and on top of technology and STEM.
And also legacy jobs are kind of going away by that. I mean, Dad had the hardware store, or Grandpa had the hardware store, and then Dad has it. Now he's expecting me to take over. And well, Dad, I don't want to take over the family hardware store. I want to do something else with my life.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
You see those going away.
Yeah, big changes for sure.
But change is a good thing.
It is a good thing.
You brought some visuals. This career-connected learning continuum framework.
Yes.
First of all, we're going to show the individual slides, but we have the big slide to show you, to let people know what we're going to talk about, and that is what I'm talking about. And they all kind of interconnect.
Yes.
And why don't we go ahead and start out with the orange one, learning about work.
Well, I think this graphic is an excellent way for everyone to understand that they actually can play a role in what we call career-connected learning. Every single person can play a role in it, and this is the kind of starting point. And making the career awareness is simply, if you have a business, attending a career fair. Bring your business in, bring some people in to talk about it, and let those kids know what it is that you do. What jobs do you offer? What's the skill set that's needed? And often the kids want to know what it pays.
Well, yeah.
So, but this is very simple, very easy. If you've got an hour or 2 hours to give, you can let the students come in and do a worksite tour of your company.
And you probably recommend that because you're not going to, your job, unless you become a teacher, your job isn't going to be in a classroom.
Exactly.
Why have somebody come and talk to your kids on their turf, and you should have the kids come to their turf?
Exactly, yeah. And to be honest with you, we've done a few of those so far in the time that I've been in the job and on the job. And that has been amazing to see the kids' eyes light up. We toured Live Nation, the Gorge Amphitheater last week.
Went nuts for that.
Went nuts. Number one, the natural beauty is amazing. But number two, the jobs that happen in that venue, not only by Live Nation, but by all the different contractors. And Live Nation, in terms of the tour for these kids, they just nailed it. They walked them through. There was audio, there's visual, there's sound, there's engineering, there's security, there's food. It was just an amazing visit, and it really opened up the eyes of the students, and they had great questions. And these students actually came all the way up from Wahluke. So, so Mattawa. It was it was a great day, and again, that's what we consider a win: getting those kids out there and exposing them to it.
So that was number one of our slides. Number two is
the career exploration.
It's the learning. Is it learning through work? I believe yes, learning through work.
It's actually this one, if that's all right.
Oh, it's okay. You want to bring up the yellow one, Uriah?
Sorry about that.
That's okay. No, we'll bring. There you go. Learning for work.
Yeah, learning for work. So learning for work is, if you've got a little bit more time than a couple hours to give, you could actually bring somebody in for a mentorship or an internship. They could sign in for a day and follow you around and kind of see what you do and how you do what you do. Again, what the skill set is. I think that's the most important thing to let these students know is what's the skill set that goes along with this job. Because if you just expose them to the position, they may not fully understand it and they might not want to actually ask the question. So if you can expose them to the skill set, that's terrific. So, in terms of a job shadow, in terms of an interview or even an internship, that's a great next step.
For instance, say, hey, I really want to be a physician, but I'm not very good at science.
Yeah.
you realize that you got to get better at science if you really want to be a physician.
Exactly.
You know, that kind of deal.
Yeah, yeah. And if you don't like needles, you know, you'll find out pretty quickly.
Is there, before we move on to the next slide, the blue slide, since we're going by color coded, is there any time that's too soon? I mean, to
You know, I don't believe so. My position actually is categorized as K through 12, and we are trying to, you know, dig a little bit deeper into even the 3rd and 4th grade. I think right now the initial success is with the older students, but I think you'll see moving forward that we're trying to dip down as soon as we can with these students to let them know, get them exposed. So that's another option. In fact, I apologize, I missed that with the career exploration or career awareness, is if you've got an hour to give, you could go in and speak to a class of students. They could be, you know, kindergarten students all the way up to seniors. So.
Next slide is, we're going to go with the blue slide. This is learning through work, I believe. Is that correct? Learning through work?
Yes.
Talk about this.
Learning through work is, again, a deeper dive, and that is the internships, virtual internship, which is not actually done via the internet, but maybe you're on site for an hour or two with a mentor, and then you do most of the project off-site, bring it back in for final approval. But again, that internship of being on job site, working, you know, anywhere from you know, maybe 4 to 10 hours a week. It just kind of depends on what the actual industry wants out of the project and what the student needs to get out of the project.
Do kids still take the test that I took back in my day? You know, it was, you didn't know you were doing it. It was like a career aptitude test, I guess is the best way to put it. That was supposed to steer you in the right direction. These are the skills that you have, and these are the jobs that complement your skills, and on the other hand, these are the skills that you don't have and don't do this. Do they still have that?
The ENGAF?
Something like that, yeah. I remember taking that.
I believe they do. I'm not sure, but I believe they do in some format, but I'm not sure if it's the Myers-Briggs.
Something like that, yeah. I was an underachiever, in case you're curious. We have, I believe, the gray slide is next on our little tour. This is the learning in work.
Yeah, this is the big one. So this is the deep dive, and I could speak, you know, specifically to the apprenticeship right now because we're just on the cusp of maybe starting a few in Grant and Adams counties. This is where the apprenticeship requirements are about 2,000 hours. So it is a full commitment by both the student and the industry. There have to be kind of allowances made by labor and industries. There has to be a distinct and you know, project that they're working on. So that usually will start in the summertime. So the student can come into the business, work full-time through the summer, and then once school starts, they can get back into their classes that we call them CTE, the Career Technical Education classes, all their other classes actually, but then continue to work after school. And sometimes they can get out of school early, and what that looks like is basically just kind of a work-study program. Maybe they leave campus by 1 and go back to work and try to fulfill their you know, their responsibilities there at the position. But that is a full apprenticeship, and often after that apprenticeship, the job is, if everything went well, they're being offered a position.
Let me draw this little analogy for you. I got a kid, he's in 6th grade, smart, intelligent, outgoing. He doesn't really know what he wants to do with his life at this point. I mean, he's only in, we'll say 11 or 12 years old. Cari, what jobs should he not go thinking about now because they're not going to exist by the time he enters the job force, as opposed to, hey, this is an up and growing industry, and if you play your cards right, you'll be able to land a well-paying job.
Yeah. That's a great question. That's a great question. I'm not sure I can speak specifically to what positions won't be around, but I can tell you right now, manufacturing is a very solid career choice. I believe
people still got to build things.
Still got to build things, and I believe within the next 10 years, we're going to lose about 50% of our workforce. I believe they're calling it the silver tsunami. So there will be a huge retirement in our manufacturers, and right now we're trying to build that pipeline to fill those positions. And these jobs they're meaningful work. They are amazing pay scale. They have excellent benefits. And if there's a student who's coming out of school at 18, doesn't quite know what they want to do, is thinking about going to a community college or even a 4-year, but they're just not quite sure, my suggestion would be to look into these local manufacturers, because not only are they willing to pay anywhere $16, $18, $20 an hour, they are doing tuition reimbursement. So you can be working in these positions with full benefits and full paycheck and receive the tuition reimbursement, as long as you're studying something that has to do with that industry. These jobs exist right now, and they're right here in our own backyard, and it's a terrific way for a student to get exposed. Maybe they find out that that's not what they want to do, but at least they're making an income, they're learning a skill, and for a short amount of time they might also be getting their tuition paid for.
There was not that long ago, maybe 10 years ago, that the Wenatchee Valley College teamed up with, I want to say, Burlington Northern Santa Fe and Stamilt and a number of the big companies that are locally around here. They saw that there was going to be a huge HVAC shortage as server farms began to be built and cold storage facilities and transporting fruit that has to stay at a certain temperature and a certain oxygen level. And they basically said free school is what they said. We'll pay for your school. You go to school for 16 months, you learn how to be an HVAC technician, and we'll guarantee you a job placement if you get your degree.
And I think that's still happening to some degree, especially with the machinists right now. But I think the key is for all of us to get that word out to these students. That's where maybe there's been a little bit of a miss. And not speaking to that campaign specifically, just in general, that these students, we need to let them know that these opportunities are out here.
And also good old-fashioned electricians. You hear about that all the time.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's good work. It's incredibly well-paying work.
Plumbing, electrician, construction.
Construction. One of my very good friends runs a construction company. He's a commercial. He goes, we're always looking for people who are willing to work construction.
Absolutely. And I think, a key part of that too is there's also an entrepreneurial aspect to that, where the student or future worker really can kind of become their own boss, write their own daily schedule to some degree, but it's an aspect that maybe they've not really thought about before, that hey, this might lead you to owning your own business someday. So, yeah.
Well, let's talk about that real quick then, Cari. Let's say I'm Joe Businessman and I have not gotten in touch with Cari Horning. Hey, I want to have some kids from Quincy Junior High come see my see my business. How does that work? Can they reach out to you and say, I'd love to have some kids come and see what we do?
Yeah, that's absolutely. In fact, that's what I'm all about. Again, kind of matchmaking the opportunities between businesses and education. And actually this morning I received a text from a teacher at Quincy High School from the Ag Department, and he said, hey, I'm kind of catching wind of what's going on with your program. I want in. How do we do this? And so really then it just takes a quick phone call and a meeting. So I can get the details of what exactly it is you want to expose your students to, and then find the business that's willing to let you in. And to be honest with you, right now, probably have at least 10 to 20 industry in the Grant and Adams counties that are doors open, ready, let's go.
You mentioned the Gorge and Live Station, who runs the Gorge in George. What are some of the other places that the kids have gone to in your brief time that kids are just knocked out by what they're looking at, like manufacturing or something like that?
Lamb Weston, Chemicon, SGL, these companies and what they're doing in our own backyard it's absolutely amazing, because not only again is it meaningful work that pays well, these are global companies. They're global companies that have career advancement. So they might start in a Quincy processing factory for Lamb Weston, but Lamb Weston I believe is the #2 potato processor in the nation.
Yes.
And I think maybe they're #1 globally. I'm not sure, but those students could end up working anywhere around the world with that. Same thing with SGL. I mean, they could end up in Germany or Italy. The opportunities are amazing. So it's just that matchmaking. Like I said, it seems quite simple, but somebody just needs to make the phone call.
And again, Cari's footprint specifically is Grant and Adams counties, but you're still fall under the umbrella of the North Central Educational Services District. So how do Joe Business get a hold of you then, Cari? I mean,
they can contact me via email at, should I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
My email address is Cari, CARIH, at NCESD.org. Or they can give me a call. My work phone number is 509-888-7044. And I would absolutely love to take your call and try to make a connection for your students.
One last thing I touch on before we let Cari go. I'm reading from the local Career Connect team summaries that she sent me.
Yes.
Second sentence, we promised Governor Inslee we would provide 15,000 youth with career-connected learning experiences before October 2019, which is about a year from now. You gonna make that goal?
Well, I'm not specifically and solely responsible for 15,000, but I think we've already got a couple hundred under our belt, and we're only a few weeks in. So I feel pretty strong about pulling in my numbers, absolutely.
Well, I think this job is perfect for you.
Thank you.
Yes, and I'm a much harder interview than Lisa is. Go out and knock them dead, and if you ever want to send the kids by and take a look at how quality television is done, maybe we can put together some quality television, and then they can come by and see our studios.
Absolutely, I would love it.
Fair enough?
You. Yep, fair enough, for sure.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Eric Grandstrom with the NCW Life Channel.
And I'm Brent Rhodes with Country 104.7 KKRV.
The Les Schwab Community Toy Drive is back.
Join us for a very special kickoff event Friday at Hooked on Toys.
We'll be there collecting new unwrapped toys from 9 to 4.
The Country 104.7 is broadcasting live from 10 to 1.
And NCW Life Channel broadcasts live 10 to 10:30.
Help us make sure no child goes without a toy this holiday season.
Join us for the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive kickoff Friday at Hooked on Toys.
With Country 104.7 KKRV.
And the NCW Life Channel, your local TV station.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
Some people put everything into their work. They put their name on the door and their heart in the community. Some people make their lives work to carry on traditions that cross over the decades. When you shop these local businesses, you support all the things that make our community great, and the money you spend stays here in the Valley. We give thanks to our sponsors who support this message: Collins Fashions in downtown Wenatchee, the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, and Clark's Jewelry on Palouse.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCW Life Channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? No matter how you prefer to view your news, NCW Life has you covered. Watch the evening news weeknights on TV, stream it, read it at ncwlife.com, or catch the latest news by following us on Facebook. Stay informed with local news, sports, weather, and shows featuring local people and events. NCW Life, a reflection and a spotlight of the communities we call home.
And we are back live here at Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee. Dan Kuntz on this Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Before we cut you loose and you head on out the door to do whatever it is that you need to do on this the day before Thanksgiving, let's take one more look at your weather forecast. One more day, quite a bit of sunshine, just a little bit of light wind. We have some patchy freezing fog in locations, and a few low-hanging clouds are going to burn off, and we'll top off at about 46 degrees. By the way, the air stagnation advisory remains in effect until 1 o'clock tomorrow, and that's when a weak weather system is going to come down and scour out the skies. So because we have high pressure right now, we got the inversion. That means pollutants get trapped pretty close to the ground, which is why we have the air stagnation advisory. Again, it should expire at 1 o'clock on Wednesday because we have a weak little weather system. It's going to bring a light mix of rain and snow. The snow level is going to be above 4,000 feet, so we're going to have probably just a little bit of light rain, especially Wednesday and Wednesday night. In fact, we have a slide to show you from the National Weather Service. Here is your snow totals Wednesday night into Thanksgiving early morning, and you can see that little sliver of green where the Wenatchee Valley itself is. They've backed off on the opportunity of that actually happening. Wednesday, lots of clouds, about 39. We're not going to get any real precipitation at all. 30% chance of light precipitation Wednesday night into Thanksgiving Day. Best chance of actual measurable rain or snow is Thanksgiving Day into Thanksgiving night. But again, they're saying little or no snow accumulation is expected, and on Thanksgiving Day with a high of 42, we'll probably get light rain in the Wenatchee Valley with light snow in the upper elevations. And by the way, we still have that Stage 1 burn ban in effect from the Washington State Department of Ecology. That does not have an expiration date, although it will probably expire as well sometime tomorrow afternoon as this weak weather system comes in on Wednesday, and then a stronger system, but again, not packing a great deal of punch coming your way on Thursday. Big travel week, of course, for Thanksgiving. Mountain passes look just fine right now. No problems, no advisories, no restrictions. In fact, if you're taking I-90 and you're taking Blewett, you're not going to have any problems at all, really, over the Thanksgiving weekend. Stevens, however, could be a little on the dicey side. A light snow possible Wednesday on Stevens Pass. Light snow possible Wednesday night. Thanksgiving Day on Stevens Pass, that's going to be a bit dicey. 2 to 4 inches of snow possible on US 2 Stevens on Thursday proper. Another couple of inches of snow possible Thursday night on Stevens Pass. But again, Stevens Pass is going to be where the snow level is really right at it, about 4,000, 4,200, 4,300 feet. Anything below that will be a rain-snow mix until you get to about 3,800 feet or so. Then anything at 3,800 feet and below will be in the form of rain. So right now, it looks like the traveling into the mountain passes for the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday is not going to be too much of an issue at all. That's the plan anyway. And again, it doesn't look like we're going to get any kind of measurable snow down here on the valley floor for the Thanksgiving holiday. We're all for that. We can accept that. Don't forget our live broadcast Friday at Hooked on Toys for the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive. We expect to see you there on Black Friday, all right? Everybody have a great Tuesday. Till then, bye-bye.